Long time ago, in the heart of an African village, nestled between rolling hills and deep green forests, lived Nala and Kwame. They were a couple admired by everyone. Nala's kindness knew no bounds, and Kwame was a strong hunter, providing for the village with great pride. Their love for each other was as deep as the rivers that flowed through the land. One day, Kwame set out early in the morning for a special hunt. A cunning leopard had been preying on the village's livestock, and the village elders decided it was time to put an end to it. Kwame was the best hunter in the village, and everyone believed he would return victorious. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Nal couldn't shake an uneasy feeling in her heart. She spent the day helping around the village, but her mind was with Kwame in the jungle. Hours passed, and still there was no sign of him. The sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the village. Just as Nal was about to set out and search for Kwame herself, a commotion arose near the village gate. A group of villagers was rushing towards her, carrying something. Her heart dropped when she saw what it was. Kwame, unconscious, his leg bandaged and soaked in blood. Behind them, walking calmly but with great authority, was Mama Odessa, the village's spiritual healer. Mama Odessa's face was etched with wisdom, and her eyes held the secrets of ancient knowledge passed down through generations. Nala rushed to Kwame's side, her hands trembling. "What happened to him?" she asked, her voice barely more than a whisper. "He was attacked by the leopard," one of the men carrying him said, "but he managed to wound it before it escaped." Nal's eyes filled with tears. Kwame was brave, but the leopard's claws had left deep gashes on his leg. He lay unconscious, his breath faint and shallow. Mama Odessa approached and placed a hand on Nal's shoulder. "Child, there is only one way to save him," she said, her voice steady but filled with gravity. Nala looked at her, desperate. "What must I do?" Mama Odessa's eyes met hers. "The ancient way, the way of love and sacrifice. You must lick his wound before the sun sets. Only through your touch and devotion can his life be saved." Nala recoiled, her mind racing. She had heard of this ritual before, but never imagined it would be required of her. It was said that by performing the ritual, the love between husband and wife could heal wounds that even the greatest medicine could not. The sun was sinking faster now, and the sky was awash with deep oranges and reds. Time was running out. Nala knelt beside Kwame, her hands gently caressing his face. She looked at Mama Odessa, who nodded solemnly. "This is how love must endure," the elder whispered. "This is the test." With a deep breath, Nal pressed her lips to Kwame's forehead. "I love you," she whispered. Then with trembling hands, she removed the bandage from his leg. The wound was deep, jagged, and still bleeding. Fear coursed through her, but she steadied herself. For a moment, everything around her seemed to slow. The sounds of the village faded. It was just her, Kwame, and the last light of day. Nal closed her eyes and pressed her lips to his wound, as the ancient tradition demanded. Her love for him, her hope for their future, surged through her with every touch. The village was silent, all eyes fixed on the couple. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. As the last rays of sunlight kissed the horizon, something miraculous happened. Kwame stirred, his hand twitched, then his eyes slowly fluttered open. The villagers gasped in awe. Kwame looked up at Nal, confusion flickering in his eyes before recognition and love washed over him. "Nala," he whispered, his voice hoarse. She smiled through her tears, cradling his face in her hands. "You're alive," she breathed, relief and joy overwhelming her. The villagers erupted into celebration. Drums began to beat, and the women started singing songs of praise and love. A bonfire was lit, and dancers circled it, their colorful attire spinning in the firelight. Mama Odessa watched from a distance, a small smile on her lips. Kwame sat up slowly, still weak but alive, his wound no longer bleeding. Nala stayed by his side, holding his hand as they watched their village celebrate. "Your love saved me," Kwame whispered, his voice full of awe. Nala leaned in and kissed him gently. "It was always love," she said softly, her heart full. And as the stars began to appear in the night sky, the village continued to rejoice. Nala and Kwame, united by love, had faced the ultimate test and won. Their story would be told for generations, a reminder that in the face of danger and fear, love could heal even the deepest of wounds.